Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining me at this open house. My name is Mr. Maisner. This video will go over Architectural 1 and 2. I just would like to welcome you to the class, give you a brief overview of myself and of the class before we jump into the Schoology part of it. So for myself, I'm Mr. Maisner. I've been here 8 years. I currently teach Architecture 1, Architecture 2, and digital video production. I come from a background of architectural drafting and design. I went to Triangle Tech for architectural drafting and design. Went to work in Virginia on aircraft carriers, running piping and different things there. Went to Pittsburgh after about a year and a half to work in some architectural firms. During those 5 years, I found that I wanted to get into teaching it instead of doing the actual drawing. So that's what led me to becoming a teacher. Went to California University, graduated there with a technology education degree, 2 years at Ambridge Area High School, and then over here to Cannon McMillan. Love it. Wouldn't change it for the world. This is a great school, so thank you. And if you ever have any questions, want to get to know me a little bit better, I do have a get to know me video on Schoology that you could watch also, and just don't hesitate to ask. Okay, so about the class. So Architecture 1 we'll go through real quick, and then Architecture 2 is the same as 1 basically, but just a little bit more rigorous. So Architectural 1, we start off with just a little bit about the history of architecture. Then we dive right into learning the terminology of different parts of architecture. Specifically like the floor plans, we go over the symbols, everything from toilets to tubs to how to design a kitchen, how to design each living room. We go in each individual room, bedrooms, bathrooms, living rooms, kitchens, foyers, decks, you name it, we do it all. Excuse me. And then we then go to learning how to draw those by hand onto the computer. We use a software called Chief Architecture. There are plenty other softwares out there, but this one I chose because of how professional it is. A lot of independent architects use this software. There's also the Revit software, but they both kind of go hand in hand, where if you learn one, you could probably use it with the other, the skills I mean. So we do that. We do a lot of computer drawing. Again, learning how to draw a floor plan, what goes in a floor plan, the different drawing sets with elevations and roof plans. So it's a really, really informative, fun class. The students tend to not realize how much they're actually learning because we make it a lot of fun in here. And we'll also try to this year do a hands-on activity where we draw our own floor plan, and then we make a foam model out of it as well. So I'm hoping to do that still. We usually go on a field trip to Falling Water, but unfortunately this year I do believe field trips are going to be closed, so we won't be able to do that unless something changes. So Falling Water was always like the big capstone of the course, so I'm pretty sad we're not going to get to that point. Okay. Architecture 2 takes what we learned in Architecture 1, and it's a lot more independent, a lot more diving into the specifics of color arrangement in the house, which way you orient your house, you know, based on your location, with the way that the sun rises and sets, to where the wind blows, how to add trees on the outside, and landscaping to minimize weather, to improve your visuals of looking out the window, all the way from lighting inside and outside of the house. So level 2 dives into it a lot more in detail, so we don't have to learn all the symbols again. We don't have to learn how to draw. We could just dive into the specifics, you know, designing for sustainability, learning green building, the new technologies that are out there with smart home building, so on and so forth. And then again, we also usually go on a field trip to Kentuck Knob, which is also located near Falling Water in Ohiopyle, but unfortunately it's going to be canceled. So we'll try to do our best with field trips, maybe virtual field trips or something like that this year. Before we jump into the Schoology page, I would like to just show you a few clips of kids working in the classroom, and then we'll jump right into Schoology. Hi, and welcome to the Schoology Overview for Architecture 1 and 2. Hopefully this helps some of you. If you ever have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. So for Schoology, what I'm going to do is go over my class page, review how to navigate it, and if you have any questions, please ask. So the students will see just about the same as what I'm looking at right now. So if we go to our Schoology page, courses, they could go to my course. So whether it's Architecture 1 or 2, you go into the page, and both of my pages are set up exactly the same. So you would see the materials, any updates, the grade book, different links, reminders, things that are up and coming. So all of these are about the same. All the school teachers try to keep their pages looking pretty much the same to make navigating a lot easier. So if you go into the Google Live session links, each class period would be able to click on one of those to get to their class and watch my live feed and ask any questions during Google Meet. You have the recorded videos for viewing after. So if I'm lecturing on something that's important that the students can use later, I will record it and put that in there. It's just a link to my Google Drive. Class resources. This is where you can find all the resources that I need to share with the students throughout the week, from week 0 all the way to week 4. Sometimes I'll have other videos in here that'll help students at home. So I do believe in week 0, there's a welcome back video if you want to get to know me a little bit better. Like I said, the syllabus that we can go into more detail later, but didn't want to bore you with reading it. You can go ahead and read that yourselves if you need to. So that was the class resources. Same with the assignments. Every week the students should see if there's anything in there. 90% of the time there'll be an assignment due every single week, whether that's a homework assignment, a discussion post, or just a in-class assignment, whether it's in detail or not. So for week 4 this week, there's 2. There's the living spaces sketches that we're doing in class, and then also just a quick discussion post as well. So students should check their assignments every week. The Restroom Sign in and out page, self-explanatory. Students can now sign in and out. I'm sure you've heard this already. Instead of signing out on a pencil and paper, they could sign out there. And then a counselor request form. Pretty standard Schoology page. Hopefully it's easy for your son or daughter to navigate. I try to make it as streamlined as possible. If there's any confusion or anything else that I can do to help you with the Schoology page, please do not hesitate to ask. Schoology is becoming a pretty good staple for everyday learning, and we're going to try to make it as easy as possible for your children as we move forward in this pandemic. If there's any other questions, please don't hesitate to ask me, and I look forward to the rest of the year with your son or daughter. Thank you.